Are we recording?
We're recording.
All right, perfect, perfect. So we want to talk about what grounding. That's what
Yes.
we had decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So let me ask you, what are you doing? What's some of the things that you're
yeah.
doing in this environment of chaos and negativity? What are you doing to help stay grounded?
I'm using crystals sometimes, the black, like tourmaline and hematite and obsidian.
And how are you using them other than obviously wearing them?
Mostly wearing them, just to keep them around me, to keep me grounded. And as you know, the black stones tend to be more the grounding stones.
Yeah.
So using crystals, using incense or
Yeah.
diffuser with I've got frankincense, I've got rose, and I've got rosemary in there right now. And those are all grounding and but also keep me connected.
Yeah, totally.
Clearing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know for me, I haven't been using a lot of crystals, but definitely incense, and sound. Sound has been very big for me.
Yeah.
Like megahertz values of, I believe it's, don't quote me, I think 174, 178, to like really that hertz level to keep me heavy, feeling solid and connected.
Yeah.
And then a lot of higher vibrational energy sound, like the 852 hertz sounds, to, like I was saying earlier, to release that stress. So to get rid of the thoughts that are in my head. It's not that I don't have them. I have them every day. But this is a good way to stay solidly grounded and then release it and just get it out of here. And then of course, saging the house, the area, our rooms, the offices, just the whole energy just feels, if you're feeling low and sad and anxiety, it's such a heavy energy, a feeling, a weight. It kind of feels like, it's just it's like you're carrying a sack of rocks on your back. Like it's just very heavy.
And the other thing I like about using like sage or the oils is you can be very ritualistic with things that gives you a routine that really helps to ground you when you're in a routine where you know, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to meditate, and then I'm going to move into doing those things of clearing energy and walking around your house and clearing it and protecting it and grounding it. So that gives you a comfort. It takes your mind out of going through the cycle of, okay, what's next? And it takes you out of being in your own head of, for me, and you start to think of, how can I help others? Because you start thinking, if I'm feeling this way, someone else is feeling this way as well.
Totally. Yeah, totally. And you're so right. Ritual, that's huge. And I mean, it doesn't have to be woo-woo ritual. It's just having a routine, like still getting up and getting dressed and doing your hair and, you know, like that whole routine. So now maybe instead of getting in your car and driving to work in the morning, you take your morning walk, of course, physical distancing, but you try to put other things in it. So like you say, walking through the house, that's a great idea. Like sage your house, or even just even when you're making your coffee, turn on some music. It doesn't have to be spiritual music. It can just be sound that makes you happy. Like any song that makes you happy.
And anything with a bassier sound is going to make you feel a little more grounded.
Yeah, like the drums, drumming, tribal, like that type of sound. Totally.
And
totally.
And the other thing is you can move your body in those heavier kind of stance, in those heavier movements to get yourself feeling that groundedness, and it shakes your body out of that anxiety, because your body starts to vibrate when you're in anxiety, and you need to sort of shift that into a different vibration.
And then the other thing would be, adding to what you just said about the movement and everything, would be yoga. those yoga poses are all connected to our chakras.
Yeah.
And that root chakra is all about the grounding. So if you can do the yoga poses, even the squat, the chair position where you're kind of squatting down, taking your knees, laying on your back, taking your knees up to your chest and just holding it, and then releasing them out straight, and then coming in and holding and releasing. All of that is really good to move that energy, to because it gets, when we get into that fear and stress and anxiety, that grounding just goes out the window. I mean, it just stops. And we just feel out of control. So if you feel like you're spinning, if you feel like you watch the news and you just feel your heart racing, like it just takes the air, like the oxygen out of the room kind of feeling. You need to kind of stop, realize it's happening. And like you say, put your diffuser on, go for a little quick walk, even if it's through your house, just to get moving and get out of that space. You know, use your crystals.
And open a window, like open a window and just get the air. If you can't physically go outside for whatever reason, just opening your window for a little bit, just to feel like you're connected with nature, and get that air flowing and get the stagnant energy from your house moving, because what happens is it just gets stuck, and then you basically in this fear soup.
Right? I mean, it is. It's just, it's toxic. No, it is. So what have we said? We've said incense, we've said crystals, music, motion, meditation. And meditation is really important. And I think people think that meditation is, you know, you have to have the lovely cushion and the incense burner and the big Buddha statue and inner peace and the singing bowls and just utter silence, which will never happen with all of us home, and it just never happens in normal life. So it's as even as quick as like 5 minutes before you get out of bed, just to quickly just ground yourself for the day, even, you know,
and like in the shower too.
Totally.
In the shower too, where you're washing away the energy.
Totally. I call it the shower meditation, where you visualize, like with the shower coming down on you, the water, you just visualize all of that negativity, anything, stress, anxiety, just going right down the drain and being converted into love and light. Like just kind of like just release it. Even when you're showering and you've got a nice scented shower gel, you can visualize yourself cleaning away the from the day, all that icky, and just kind of like, even when we wash our hands, we can think about, you know, doing that.
And releasing, you're just visualizing, I'm releasing anything that is not of the highest, best, releasing it from my body, from my mind, from my spirit. As you're washing your hands, just to clear that, because if that becomes your ritual, that's so simple, and that's very meditative.
And it becomes, like you say, it's ritual, it becomes habit, it becomes that you don't even realize you're doing it, and you start to feel better. It takes 21, 28 days to change a habit or to shift. So, I mean, you know, if you start it now and you just do it little by little, and you'll forget. And then if you remind yourself, I always say to my clients, like, if you forget and then you go, oh, I should have done that. We don't should on ourselves, but instead we go, aha, that's mindful awareness. I'm aware I didn't do it. Cool on me. Let's keep going, and let's do it next time, or let's readjust right now. So it's not like lash yourself because you forgot. It's like, celebrate, you've got some mindful awareness, and keep it going. Keep it going. And I know, like, the whole grounding is so connected to being mindfully aware. I mean, it's just, that's what mindfulness is. It's just being present in the now. And it's so hard not to worry about the future and tomorrow and when will we be back at work and what's going to happen and when will I get to see my family and like it just, and that's when it starts spinning. It just starts spinning. So and that's when you can use one of these things.
And you just need to use something to sort of stop it. Okay, I'm going to go put on the oil. I'm going to go put music on. Just choose something to interrupt that pattern, and just, it's going to shift your mind from going down that rabbit hole.
Totally. It sounds so simple, And it does get easier the more you do it, the more you said, make it a ritual, make it part of your everyday life.
Yeah. And give yourself permission that it may not look perfect the first time you're doing that. It may take a few tries, but just give yourself that permission to let it flow and keep trying, because what may work for somebody may not work for you, and you just need to find what it is that does work for you.
Yeah, totally. I mean, because when it happens, I'm sure when it happens to you, what's the first thing you do? What's the first thing, if you all of a sudden you're watching the news and it's all negative and your heart starts beating and it goes into that spiral? I
turn it off, and I usually come and put my oil scent on, because it just, and I put music on. Usually I switch into something high frequency just to shift that.
That's what I do. I do a quick high frequency, or I realize I'm panicking, or I realize I've got anxiety over it, or I start freaking out about it. I shut it down. I walk away from whatever, be social media, be at the TV, turn it off, walk away. And like I like to say, choose change. I shift it very quickly to like, okay, Karen, this is a trigger. You're freaking out. This is not going to help anybody. You can't do anything about this. You only can control me and my feelings of it. So what can I do now? So similar, fastest thing is the vibrational music, is turning on that music, because that'll shift it so fast. The same with the smell. So our sense of hearing and our sense of smell are so triggered. The other thing that I always share with people is the fastest way to ground yourself is to eat an apple. And it's that whole thing where the apple is growing on the tree, so all the nutrients from Mother Earth are coming up through that tree, through the branches, to help nourish and make this amazing apple. It's so full of grounding. You take a bite and you're just almost like you're weighted down. So you're like, and then it's just like grounds you so quickly. I know we want to grab for the potato chips and the chocolate, but the fastest way to make us feel like we can think again is to eat an apple. And like I say, it doesn't matter if it's green or red, it will still work.
And the red is probably more connected with your root chakra, which helps.
I mean, any of the foods that are red, related to red or earth. Potatoes are a really great way to ground yourself. I've been eating a lot of baked potatoes. People will say that's good or bad, don't know. But it makes me feel solid, like stop. It makes all this stuff that's going on flatline, which is what I need. It just kind of pushes away and kind of gives space to that.
And for me, it's been nuts and seeds. I just feel like I need that.
Yeah, they're very fast to ground too. Yeah. I've been eating a lot of apples. An apple a day.
Exactly.
Away, right?
Exactly.
Not sure what the nuts, but the nuts are good too.
Keeps me nutty.
That's right.
Well, actually, the nuts are very good for your brain, because particularly like walnuts are very brain oriented. So you need those fatty acids to help your brain when your brain is going in that flight, and freeze. It needs that extra nutrients.
Totally. Have some nuts now. No.
Exactly.